In today's video, I'm going to show you how to edit much faster in Final Cut Pro and some tips with QuickTimePlayer. Even if you are using other editing software, the method behind this might also fasten your editing process. So with no further ado, let's jump in. For easier understanding, I'm just going to open the keyboard viewer so you can see what I'm operating. And let me just change it to English. Here I already started the Final Cut Pro, but I'm gonna just create another library, and I will just put it in my external driver to save room in my Mac. Let's name it June. Okay. And after creating the library, if you just want to edit one or few videos, you don't have to create event project and complicate thing. You can just go with Command N to create a new project. Name it July. And here video you can set 4K or Full HD. Here I will just use Full HD because I prefer to shoot in 4K, but editing Full HD the file will be smaller, and it's not like everyone have super fast internet. For the rate I prefer use 23.9 instead of 24p. I will explain you later, and the rest you may just keep it default. After you create a project, there are a few ways to import media, but before that, let's hold Command and Comma to get into the preference. Here in import, there are a few settings. So copy to library storage location. If you have enough room, I would recommend you to do that, because sometimes when you're editing, you might download a few B-roll and use it, for instance, like this picture. And if you accidentally delete it, then the library won't have it. But if you copy to library storage, then the file will be copied into the library and you wouldn't delete it by accident. And here the transcode. I would recommend you to do create optimized media. It's just like when your camera shoots something, it has codecs, right? By selecting this, it will make Final Cut easier to handle the file, and it won't mess with the resolution. And you can also do the create proxy media. For proxy media, the first one, ProRes, is similar as optimized media, but you can change the frame size, which will mess with the resolution but make the file much smaller. And for this one, I'm not sure, but the method is the same. You might think, okay, why not choose them both? Well, of course you can. The only problem is, first, it will make the file size much larger. And secondly, if you import a lot of media inside at the same time, the computer will spend a lot of time rendering to decode. So what I usually do is I just create optimized media. And if you find the computer is hard to process the file, then you can create proxy media. There are a lot of ways to import media into the project. The one I prefer is just go inside the file and drag it one by one. So just like this. The benefit of editing like this way is you can watch each video first and then decide, okay, I want this one be 1 or maybe this one be 2, and then you can edit by sequence. And here you can see, although I changed the file name here already, but it won't affect here. So sometimes when you have lot of videos, what you can do is after you drag it in, right, you can just rename it like a used means used. Let's say you have few hundred file here, you can easily find out which one you have already used, so you don't need to mess with them. And of course you can also select everything and just drag them inside. You can do that. So let's say when you are editing the video and you want to insert some B-roll. Let's just say your file is very large and the computer is already having difficult time to edit with it. This is actually one thing you can do which relates to the QuickTimePlayer. So let me just open this file by QuickTimePlayer. So as you can see, this one has 2 hours. Let's say you want a few seconds of it. Then what you can do is actually you hold up Command and T. I'm not sure if you can see, but here is the red arrow. You can actually drag it. Yeah, I just want here. And then you do trim, and that's it. You have only 23 seconds. And what you can do here is go to File. You can export because the source is Full HD, so you cannot export 4K. You can just export. Let's just put it in the same file, so easier for me to find. It may take some time depending on the whole file. And there the one usage is here. You can see you have audio only. You can just export the audio if you just want to use part of the audio. So let's just delete it, and here you can do Shift and Z, display the timeline properly. And let's just go to the file. Remember this one, 24 seconds. So let's just drag it in. And here you have just 24 seconds. Okay, I don't have enough battery, so I'm just gonna switch to GoPro, I guess. Talk another tip of QuickTimePlayer. Let's say I want to select part of it. Of course you can drag, but there will be no sound, and you can press this one, there will also be no sound. So what you can do is you can hold Option and then press the fast forward. As you can see here, you can adjust the speed and you can also hear the sound, just in case you wanted to select part of it and you needed to know which part you are using. The only downside is once you go to 1.9, that's the fastest speed, and if faster, there will be no sound again. Of course, you can also drag it here, press A, so it will play 2 times faster, 4 times faster, and with sound. You can do K to stop it and J to back forward with sound. Actually, it's much faster to use this way to edit in Final Cut Pro. The benefit of using QuickTimePlayer is sometimes when the file of Final Cut Pro is huge and having difficult time to render. For instance, the 24 seconds version obviously it causes less trouble for the Final Cut Pro. Okay, now let's go down the cut section. You won't be able to see, but I'm actually holding the keypad and then dragging the timeline. But here, you can actually press S. This will turn video skimming on. Before you needed to hold this timeline and then drag, right? You can just move in your timeline with the keypad without holding it. And here, let's say I want to cut from here, then Command B. That's it. By activating this function, it will save you load time. Let's say you want to cut, you can do Command B and then delete it, right? Let's just go back. Let's say I want to use this part, I want to cut everything in front. What you can do is you can hold Option and then press C. You might not be able to see, but let me just release. You just need to hold Option and then use the left bracket key. Then you might notice everything in front has been deleted. Let's say you wanted to keep this part but delete the rest. What you can do is hold Option and then the right bracket key. See? So combine it with Command B and move to a certain area. Use Option and left bracket. See? Much more efficient. Okay, now I can close this window. And there are other ways to import video, like here, after you select it, you can do I, and then you can do O, and then you can maybe press E to put it at the end, or you can put, let me just put it here, you can press Q to edit. It has its way, but obviously I'm using a smaller screen, so this is actually difficult for me to operate. Okay, the general idea is to use shortcut key, which you can find in Final Cut Pro menu if you spend some time, and probably even work with other software because our computer is not that powerful. In next episode, I'm going to talk about how to edit with sound. That's it for me today. Peace!